You connect with someone and things seem to be going well, but then she starts to distance herself. Suddenly, she takes hours to text back. When you're in the same room, she treats you like just another person in her day. Most men see this coldness and assume the interest has simply evaporated. They decide to move on, choosing to walk away from what feels like a dead end. However, this withdrawal often occurs while her brain is working overtime to categorize a new surge of intense feelings. She is pulling back precisely because her mind is trying to figure out who you are and what you represent to her. This highlights a significant difference in how the genders often process attraction. While men tend to pursue and escalate a connection they enjoy, a woman who feels a deep pull might do the opposite. She creates space to regain her footing. Psychologists call this defensive avoidance. When attraction makes someone vulnerable, the brain builds a protective wall to keep their heart safe and avoid rejection. This quiet distance acts as a pressure valve for overwhelming emotions. As this diagram shows, the thicker the external wall becomes, the more heat it contains. Once that wall is up, she shifts her focus to gathering data from a safe distance, observing you without the risk of a direct encounter. You might catch her watching you from across a room, studying how you carry yourself or who you're talking to. But the second eye contact is made, she will look away, reacting to the sudden exposure of her interest. Digitally, this looks like watching your social media stories immediately after you post them, even while she leaves your direct messages unanswered. While maintaining distance, she builds a detailed mental file. She remembers passing details from conversations weeks ago, a specific meeting, or a relative's name. Her brain prioritizes you, connecting these data points to form a complete picture of you. This secret observation proves that the coldness is a performance. Her mind is actively focused on you, even as her body maintains a safe perimeter. This internal focus eventually leaks into her social circle. Women often process these complex, intimidating feelings by discussing them with their closest friends. You might notice her close friends giving you knowing looks or acting entirely differently when you walk by. Even if you've never met them, they likely know your name and your history because you are a recurring topic in their conversations. This conflict also surfaces in your digital conversations as a cycle of reaching out followed by sudden silence. She might send a meme or a quick question, only to vanish for days once you respond. This flowchart illustrates the cycle. An impulsive desire to connect leads to outreach. But as soon as the connection is made, her vulnerability spikes, and her brain triggers an immediate retreat into silence to restore her sense of safety. You can see the physiological evidence when you're in the same room. She may seem unusually nervous, her voice might rise in pitch, or her body language might become more guarded than it is with anyone else. Finally, she may initiate a subconscious stress test. This can involve mentioning other men, canceling plans last minute, or introducing small points of friction to see how you react. Her defensive brain is looking for this perfectly horizontal, unbreakable baseline. She needs to know if you are steady enough to handle her emotions. These aren't games. They are a mandatory psychological vetting process. These symptoms provide a specific framework for understanding her silence. Her coldness can be viewed not as a lack of interest, but as a complex emotional state that requires a different approach. The most common mistake at this stage is panicking. Trying to force the relationship to move faster or reacting with anger only confirms her brain's fear that the situation is unsafe. Instead, the effective response is a state of radical calmness. You meet her behavioral noise with a patient, completely unbothered steadiness. When you remain a steady presence despite her pulling away, you prove to her subconscious that you are a safe space. This reliability is the only thing that will eventually allow her to lower those protective walls. True attraction isn't always loud or obvious. By practicing observation and staying steady, you can uncover the profound connections hidden behind her silence.